The loudest sound in Sergeant Callan's world was her own heartbeat, amplified by the resonant cavity of her helmet. To the rest of the UE, Dauntless, the ship was a fortress of steel and humming engines. To Caitlin, it was a tin can drifting through a sea of glass. She was an externalist. When the long-range sensors twitched or a hull plate groaned, she was the one who went over the side. The Wachtelin stepped out of the airlock, but she didn't float away. Her tether rig a spool of high-tensile wire smacked into the hull. In deep space, there is no down, only toward the ship and away from the ship. She walked with the heavy, rhythmic clack hiss of her mag boots. "Recon 1 to bridge," she whispered. Sound didn't travel in the vacuum, but her comms felt too loud. "I'm at the Sector 4 radiator fins. Scratches on the paint, just like you said. The discovery it wasn't a micrometeoroid." As Caitlin knelt, her suit's floodlights caught something metallic wedged in the cooling veins. It was small, no larger than a coin, but it was pulsing. It was a leech mine. A leech didn't blow holes in ships. It drank the heat signatures of the engines, masking its own presence while slowly draining the ship's battery until the life support flickered out. It was a silent killer used by the Silent Accord, a faction that preferred their enemies to freeze in their sleep. The diffusal Kellen pulled her pulse blade. Working in a vacuum meant every movement had an equal and opposite reaction. If she slipped, the blade wouldn't just cut the mine. It would send her spinning like a top. The tactic: she anchored her left arm into a grab bar, bracing her entire body weight against the ship. The tension: she watched her vitals monitor. Her heart rate was climbing. 120 BPM, 140 BPM. The cut. With a surgical flick, she severed the mine's magnetic tether. The mine didn't explode. It simply let go. Without the ship's gravity or its own magnets, it drifted away into the dark, a tiny spark of stolen energy fading into the billions of stars. The return Kellen didn't get a medal when she climbed back through the airlock. She just got a lukewarm cup of recycled coffee and a good job recon from a sleepy ensign. She sat in the darkened mess hall, looking at her hands. They were still shaking. Out there, she was the only thing standing between 1,200 people and the absolute zero of the void. She wasn't just a Marine. She was the anchor,